Okay, it has been almost 5 years, I guess a little over 4 years, since I have done a tutorial video on a Smith Corona Sterling 5AX series. So this one is in the Alpine Blue, fantastic color, one of my favorites, and it's in really excellent condition. So I thought I would use this for today's tutorial, but I also kind of want to give a little bit of conversation about the 5AX, why I personally like it so much. So Smith Corona just makes some really fantastic typewriters. I mean, really, they all do. A lot of us run to Smith Corona first. One, there's just so many out there still available. A lot of them are still in excellent condition. They are just a really solid made machine, and I am never disappointed in them if they were well taken care of, well, it just seems like we really run into the least amount of issues with Smith Coronas than we do others. You know, there are always typewriters that we really can't repair well. But that hardly ever happens with the Smith Coronas. Even when we get them in really dirty conditions, they seem to bounce back quite well. The 5AX, I personally love because it has that really modern look to it. So in the 40s and the 50s, the typewriter companies kind of really got stuck in their looks. And then Smith Corona kind of took their really popular body style but gave it a little bit of an edge to it. It wasn't a huge change, but it was enough for it to be, it's just a really sleek and attractive machine. And I personally love the look of it. You can tell it's a 5AX because it has, this silver front, and it says Sterling, and it has the 3 little diamonds. I have also found it to be an excellent flow machine. So for like writers who want a manual typewriter, a lot of times I'll recommend the Classic. The Classic's always a good typewriter. But if you want something that's just a little bit extra, I don't know, just a little bit of extra, that little X factor, I would say use the Smith Corona 5AX if you're wanting a Smith Corona. And definitely there's lots of options out there. Some of the early Royals from the 30s and 40s I really love as well, but this, for a little bit of a modern take, one that is just a sturdy typewriter, and I think you're just gonna come back to over and over, it's gonna be the Smith Corona 5AX. Okay, so now that I've talked a lot, let's go ahead and do some tutorial on it. And I am going to be using one of our backing papers today, and this is just a typing sheet that I used, sample sheet, so it's just printer paper, that's all you need. And so I am going to put them together, and I'm going to put it in this way. And when I turn the handle, and so it goes right behind this metal plate right here, and turn the handle, then the white blank paper is going to come up, but I'm going to be able to see the guidelines right there that I have on our backing paper. And there's a link to our backing paper in the listing below. Now that I've developed it and I use it, I use it for everything. And my writing is now centered on my paper all the time, and I'm just very, very happy with it, and it really has protected my platens. I have learned, because I didn't know how long they were going to last, I have learned that I can get about 10 uses out of it, and it all depends on the condition of your platen, and your type bars, your slugs, if they're poking through or not. If you have a platen that's in really good condition, it's going to last you longer, but if you have a really hard platen, it's probably not going to last you as long. But just as a general rule, I have learned can get about 10 uses out of it before I need to use a different paper. Okay, so we're going to start with the back, and here is, and you probably can't see it, let me scoot it up. So this is your paper holder, And that does come in handy, keeps your paper up like that. And then you have your margin sets. So you just drag it out or in wherever you want it. And your carriage is going to move however far you have your margins set. So I'm going to look at my lines here, and I want my margins to fall on these lines. That way I know my typing is going to be centered. So we've got one there. We've got one there. So that's nice and centered. Okay. I'm moving the carriage because there's two silver handles, and it doesn't matter if you do one or the other or you do both. When you pull it in, it's going to pull to the left. If it doesn't, that means your drawband is broken and you'll need to find a repair person. But let me move my typewriter back in place. And I know some people don't like it that they film from above like this, but it's just really the easiest way to do it. Okay, so over here on the right side, there's one of the carriage releases. This is called the paper release. So when I'm loading paper, what I actually like to do is I like to come up and make sure that they're even. And it's just a hair off. They're basically even, but it's a hair. So I'm going to pull that paper release forward and just make sure it's perfectly even and re-engage. And that is really handy for that. Here's your other lever right here, and that's just for your paper bail. And that paper bail just keeps your paper taut against the platen or roller. Can call it either one. Over here on the left side, you'll see a 1, 2, and 3, and that is your line selector. So when you hit your return handle, right now it advances 1 line. Then we have 2, double space, and triple, okay? And the double and triple come in handy. So for example, if you're writing a first draft of something, that's really handy because then you can make notes in between the lines. So I'm gonna put mine back on the first line, and my paper is getting bent because we're using it so much. And now I'm gonna move my carriage all the way to the left so that my handle is away from the cover. And we're going to take a look underneath the hood. So on this sterling, you just put your hand right here and just a gentle pull. It's not very hard. And you'll see we have the original metal spools in this one. You may have plastic spools. That's totally fine. This typewriter takes a universal typewriter ribbon, and they're so easy to find. But we do have them on our website, and there is a link in the listing, in the description, to typewriter ribbons. And we provide 2 spools. So that's one thing you need to look at, is sometimes they give you 1 spool and expect you to hook it to another spool that you have. And that's typically how they did it in the past. But we go ahead and we send 2 spools with each order. And we already have it hooked up on both sides. So all you need to do is plop it in. Make sure it's threaded, that's the word I'm looking for, through the little guide wires here and then through this escapement. And I'll hold it up here in a second. Same on this side, needs to go through that guide wire. And then on this one, this typewriter, the ribbon goes up around the top, the back, and then underneath. And same with this side, top, back, underneath. We do have a playlist with some changing typewriter ribbon tutorials. I recommend watching a couple of those. Each typewriter is just a little bit different, but when you get an idea of how the general idea of how to change a ribbon, you're able to figure it out. But if you've got a 5AX that's close to a 66, I'm going to hold this up, and that way you can see how that ribbon is threaded through the vibrator there. And you can screenshot that or whatever you need to do. Also, if you're looking for your serial number, it's going to be right here. It's stamped in the left side of the metal frame. You can write that down and then go to typewriterdatabase.com and look up the year that your typewriter was manufactured. Okay, so let's go ahead down. Here's your keys, your keyboard. On the right side is your color selector. So you'll see black, white, and red. The white is a stencil setting. If your selector gets bumped onto that, which does happen, you're going to notice that it's not typing. It looks like it's typing, but it's not impressing anything. And the reason for that is that vibrator is not lifting up the ribbon. So if your typewriter is not typewriting well, one of the things to check is make sure that your color selector is firmly on black or red. The other thing you need to check is, does your ribbon need to be reversed? And the manual reversal is right here on the left side, and it just flips up or down. Okay, I'm going to open this up again. So right now, it's going this way. And now I'm going to reverse and it goes this way. So when you get to the end of the spool, the ink, the ribbon on that spool, it's not the end of the ink, just the ribbon. You need to reverse the direction, go back and forth, and you can do that multiple times before the ink dries out. And then you can have it rewound, which we offer that service under our custom ribbon option. You send us your spools, we'll put fresh ribbon on it, or you can just buy a new set of spools. So I want it to go this way because all of the ribbon is over here, and so I want it to go this way. But if you do run into issues, I always say check two things. Try reversing your ribbon to see if that solves it, and check your color selector. Okay, down here we have a clear and a set, and that is for your tabs. So right now I have a tab set right here. I did that when I was doing a typing demo. I'm going to clear it, and that should have cleared it, and it did. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to line it up right there. Whoops, went a little too far. Backspace. This arrow is your backspace. And I'm going to set it. And now it's set. So that is your tabs, clear and set. Backspace. Backspace does not erase, it just backspaces. You can expect to make mistakes. Embrace your mistakes. That's just part of typewriting. And the other key that I want to point out is this margin release. So we talked about setting our margins, but unlike a computer on a typewriter, you have to manually go to the next line. So if you try to keep typing, it's going to stop on you. And let's say you're in the middle of a word. Well, if you hit this margin release, MR, then it'll release that margin and you can keep typing. All right, so that is the general use of a Sterling 5AX. This is a 1966, and I'll do a little bit of typing as we fade out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again.